Dope, 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 let's get it. I'm a trapping fanatic, that shit automatic, so I cannot turn it on or off. Bitches all on my dick, then she hop on my dick, I'm like, why you keep hopping on and off? Yo, bitch all on my dick, she be doing the most. I tell her, oh, bitch, she so extra. And my gun up on me, but not run up on me. Niggas, they wanna fight, they some wrestlers.
Within the underworld, there were devils of all types who harbored all sorts of abilities and powers. One of those devils wasn't gifted at all, as he was the lowest of the low. He had no abilities, strength, or power. He was simply a weakling. However, he was lucky, as he somehow slipped into the human world by chance. He ended up in a village where he hid among the shadows until a woman had found him. Her red hair called to him, and she would bring the small devil into her home. The woman was Kushina Uzumaki. Kushina brings him into her home and names him Libe. Once Minato came home that night, he actually wouldn't mind either, as he even tries to teach him the Rasengan and many other shinobi-like skills, seeing Libe as another son. 2 years then go by before the Nine-Tails attack would happen. Libe was here as well, and he ran up to Minato, who was about to steal the Nine-Tails within himself and the newly born Naruto. Libe asked instead to be sealed due to his powers awakening in the months earlier. Minato understands and seals the Nine-Tails within himself and Kushina, while using the last bit of his chakra to seal Libe within his younger brother, Naruto. Years then go by, and Naruto's chakra seem to be non-existent. All living things in the world have chakra, but Naruto seemed to be an anomaly. Hiruzen would constantly have Hyuga clan members check the boy for his chakra points and lines, but it seems he has none at all. Hiruzen couldn't figure out what was going on here, because it should be the opposite. There was no seal on the boy's stomach, so he couldn't be the Nine-Tailed Jinchuriki either. This puts Naruto at the bottom of Hiruzen's priority list, even though he is the Hokage's son. Naruto is heavily neglected here, and decides one night to just leave the village. The season was winter, and the snow was falling hard, so this was the perfect time to escape, while it would be hard to track him down because of the snow covering his footprints, and that night Naruto would leave. Naruto wouldn't be able to see where he was going, but he knew that he just wanted to leave his old home, find somewhere where he'd be appreciated, somewhere he could be useful. A snowstorm would start, and he takes refuge within a small cave. Naruto keeps running for weeks until he passes out in the snow due to not having any food. A group of people would find the child's cold, fragile body, and they take it back with them to their home. When Naruto awakens, there was a group of people in front of him. The two darker-skinned men with blonde hair and a woman with black hair who would just leave the room. Naruto, since he woke up so abruptly, couldn't really tell what they were saying, but they had to be talking about him. Who else? The two men then notice that he's awake and sit down near him. The taller of the two sits down right next to Naruto and smirks. "Boy, do you know who your father is?" Naruto shakes his head no, and the man continues. "I fought against him many times in battle. He was a strong, noble shinobi. If he was still alive to this day, I do believe we'd be great friends. Why did you run from your home?" Naruto explains what's been happening throughout his life, and then explains how he has no chakra. But he then decides to ask a question. If he could stay in this village instead. "You said you have no chakra, is that right?" Naruto nods, and the Raikage stands up. "Find a way to become useful to me, even without chakra." Hearing this inspired Naruto to begin his own training immediately. If he couldn't use chakra, then he'd become good at everything else. As soon as he was well, he began sword training, The Raikage was pleased by this, and actually has Naruto live with him and Killer Bee. So, there were also high-level Jonin instructors that would train Naruto. However, Naruto took this training more seriously than anything else in his life. After a couple months of this, the Raikage would be asked by his advisor while in his office, why even save that boy? Even if he doesn't know it himself, he's special. There's something about him that separates him from those around him. He was able to survive in a snowstorm without food for quite some time. That's remarkable for a child that age. This kid is going to turn into something scary. After all, he's the son of that man. This is when we see Naruto training harder than ever before. He was still young, but you could see the passion burning in his eyes. His instructor would use a lightning-style jutsu that launches towards him at great speed. He was already bleeding from his head as he was injured, watching this lightning bolt come straight at him. However, this lightning began to slow down as the words of the Raikage rang throughout Naruto's head. Become useful. Yeah, that's right. I have no other choice but to become stronger. I need to gain more power in order to keep living here. No, that's just a simple goal. I need to think further. I need more power to keep surviving in this world. That's more like it, younger brother. As Naruto hears this new voice inside his mind, one of his eyes go red as dark marks appear on his skin and cover his blade completely. He swings this dark blade, cutting through the lightning bolt, splitting it in half as the explosion then happens from behind him. The dust would clear, and we see a horn coming from one side of his head. His instructor steps back for a moment, but then has a smile on his face, remembering that he can't discriminate against this kid because he essentially is the son of the Raikage. Well, I'll be damned, kid. You sure are something special after all. But that doesn't mean your training is done. At the end of the day, the instructor tells the Raikage about everything that happened, and he would go to see Naruto once he's all done with his office paperwork. He walks into his home to see Killer Bee rapping while laying on the couch. Where's Naruto? Killer Bee then tells his brother that Naruto's in the back. The Raikage goes back there, and he sees Naruto sitting still in his demonic form while meditating. He calls out to the boy, but there was no response. Within the mind of Naruto, he was floating around in a red area in front of a demonic silhouette. Who are you? It's about time we met, Naruto Uzumaki. You know my name, but I've never met you. Well, you would have earlier if things had went normal that night. But it's fine. We can meet this way too. But I also had to wait until you were strong enough to actually make contact with you. But this is all I can do for now. So remember these words. Just keep growing stronger, and soon the truth will be revealed to you. The demonic figure consumes Naruto's arm, leaving a small seal of some sort around his wrist. When Naruto awakens, he feels different and still sees that marking, but this time it's red. So, something changed Naruto. He turns to see his father figure standing behind him. Yeah, I finally figured out a way to become useful. That's good. But your actions will speak louder than your words. Naruto nods and continues this training for another 5 years before he graduated to the rank of Genin. He was placed on a 3-man squad with Omui and Karway. These three were already close friends, and they already worked great together. Their sensei would be Darui, a highly ranked and trusted shinobi within the village. A couple weeks go by of this team doing missions until the Raikage calls them into his office. He explains that he's already registered them for the Chunin exams within the Leaf Village, and Naruto is excited due to knowing his origins, so he feels as if he needs to prove himself here. The team will leave the cloud that night and travels to the Leaf Village. When they arrive, they walk through the gate, and Naruto smiles, remembering how bad his life used to be. This makes him appreciate everything else that he has now. His sensei goes to check them into the hotel and tells them to walk around and explore for a little bit. Naruto decides to take this chance to take both his teammates to the ramen shop that he used to go to as a kid. As they walk towards it, they heard someone call out Naruto's name. He turns around to see Sasuke, Sakura, and someone else that he doesn't know, but we know this person is Sai. Naruto, don't tell me that's you. Are you still a weakling with no chakra? Sasuke and Sakura begin to laugh, but Naruto releases a cold bloodlust. What is this? Naruto's eye then goes red as he speaks. Even without chakra, I'm far stronger than you, Sasuke. Sasuke compares this feeling to the bloodlust of Haku, but this is even more intense than that. Sasuke decides to activate his Sharingan and attack Naruto as he jumps forward towards Naruto, who then punches him back. If you want to fight, then I'll catch you in the Chunin exams. Omui and Karway both dash past Naruto and Sasuke, causing Naruto to also smirk. When Sasuke turned around, both Sai and Sakura were pinned to the ground by each of Naruto's teammates. Don't forget, Sasuke, this won't be a battle just between us. You better hope the trash you call teammates can keep up as well. All three of them then vanish, causing Sasuke to be angry at not only himself, but his team as well. While this went on, Naruto went off to find some others in the Leaf who actually cared about him while he was here. He goes back to the academy to find Iruka doing paperwork. Hey there, Iruka-sensei. The older man stands up immediately, having tears swell in his eyes while looking at the yellow-haired kid. Is that really you, Naruto? You're so big now. Man, time has passed, hasn't it? Yeah, it's me, Iruka. I found my own way of strength, just like you wanted. Iruka walks over hugging Naruto, telling him that he's proud of him. Naruto thanks him and tells him to make sure he doesn't miss the Chunin exams, as that's the whole reason he's here. Iruka was surprised, but then he looks at Naruto's headband and smirks, being happy that he found somewhere where he could belong. Naruto then heads off to the hotel, and the next day will be the first part of the exams, and Team Darui passed this part with no difficulty at all, as after this will be the Forest of Death. Once they were inside and had their scroll, Omui turns to Naruto. So, what's the plan, Naruto? You two should already know who our targets are. Karway smirks. I'm gonna punch that pink-haired brat in her face. I already know which way they went, so follow me. They follow Naruto, who speeds through the forest, and now they were right above Team 7. Omui pulls out his blade and jumps down on Sai, causing him to block. Sakura is also sent flying by Karway, and Sasuke watches as Naruto slowly walks towards him with a black blade. Isn't this what you wanted, Sasuke? Sasuke then performs a fireball jutsu, launching it down at Naruto, who slices through it with no effort at all. Those attacks won't work on me. The young Uchiha then rushes Naruto, swinging his leg, but Naruto ducks under and cuts him across his cheek with his blade. Sasuke backs up in response, holding his face and looking at the blood on his fingers. Stop playing around, Sasuke. Don't tell me that you've wasted all this time and haven't gotten stronger at all. At least give me a real challenge. Shut your mouth, Naruto. Someone like you, with no chakra, has no right to talk down on me, someone of the Uchiha clan. Naruto puts his hand over his eyes and tilts his head back as he smiles, while a dark chakra arises from around his body. You truly don't understand that I'm more gifted than anyone you'll ever know. It may be true that I don't have chakra, but what if I told you that chakra attacks and jutsu don't work against me? I'd call you a liar, because that should be impossible, Naruto. Maybe you'll believe it after I show you. One side of Naruto's hair then turns black as that eye would go red. Eventually, this transformation is accompanied by a dark wing and a horn, along with dark marks as well. At the same time, when Omui and Karway sense Naruto's power, they both begin to get serious as well. Omui creates a black lightning that swirls around his body and blade, while Karway has white lightning that gives her a cat-like transformation. Think of it like Yorichi from Bleach. Karway looks at Sakura and gets on all fours, dashing around the forest. Sakura wouldn't even be able to keep up, and Karway gets right behind her, landing a drop kick to her spine that sends her crashing into a tree face first, knocking her. Well, she was barely conscious from this one attack, but Karway kept attacking until she was in critical condition. After Sakura passes out, the white lightning would vanish from her body, and Karway takes the scroll. I can't believe the Leaf has weaklings like you as shinobi. We went over to Omui, who was cutting through all of Sai's drawings with ease. The black lightning began to form a dragon that followed his blade closely until he was right in front of Sai. Black lightning sword style, dragon rush. Omui then lands a flurry of continuous strikes that all land, leaving Sai knocked out while also leaking a lot of blood. Omui sheathed his blade and puts a toothpick back in his mouth. And when we make it back to Naruto and Sasuke, Naruto was fully transformed and Sasuke was getting flashbacks to that dreadful day. But why that day? Why was Naruto's demonic transformation reminding him of what he felt that day when his family had died? No, when his family was killed. Was Naruto present that day? No, he couldn't have been, because he had already left the Leaf Village by that time. So, who was it? Sasuke, angered by this feeling, snaps back into reality, using the Chidori, which he learned earlier in this story, rushing at Naruto, pulling up rubble as the lightning strikes against the ground. He extends his arm out towards Naruto, trying to just end the battle, but Naruto catches his hand, and the lightning vanishes. What a pitiful strike of lightning. You can't even compare to what my teammates can do with that element. With one slice of his blade, he cuts Sasuke across his chest, and leaves him there on the ground bleeding. The wound isn't deep enough to kill him, but Sasuke wouldn't be able to move for a while. Naruto releases this demonic power and meets up with his team to see that Karway has a scroll that they needed. Good job, Karway. Now we can head to the tower. As they jump from branch to branch, Naruto asked how their fights went. The pink-haired girl was weak. I didn't even need to reveal my trump card. The only thing I did was transform it in the battle quickly. Omui then tells Naruto that his fight was a little more challenging, so he revealed one of the moves created from his sword style. Both of them then ask how Naruto's fight went. It went well. I think he finally understands what makes us so different now. Anyway, if either of you loses in the next part, you'll have to answer to me. We already got the intel from the Raikage that says the final part is a one-on-one battle, sort of like a tournament. Both Karway and Omui get chills down their spine from Naruto's cold voice. They make it to the tower first, and Team 7 doesn't make it at all. So I'll basically be replacing them essentially. The first match was Omui versus the Sound Shinobi. The fight begins, and it's honestly scary. Omui's speed is far ahead of the shinobi, as he can't even react. All the other senseis take note of this out loud, but Darui begins to explain. The Cloud Village only entered one team, due to this team being full of prodigies. Each one of them was trained by the Kage at one point in their life, and each has their own unique fighting style that represents who they are. Omui then shows off the Black Lightning sword style, this time forming a lion instead of a dragon. He cuts off the arm of his opponent, and the fight stops as he gets the win. The next fight we see is, from this team, is Ino versus Karway. The fight begins and Ino is able to invade the mind of Karway, causing her teammates to get excited. However, Naruto turns to Shikamaru. If I was her, I'd want to stay out of her mind. Why do you say that? Well, she's a little insane, but don't tell her I said that. We look back down at the battle to see white lightning erupt from the center of the arena, causing everyone to be blinded. The light goes away as we see Ino raised in the air, holding someone's arm trying to breathe, as we see Karway's lightning hand. She squeezed her hard until she gives up, giving her the win. Hiruzen himself was impressed by the Cloud Village's shinobi, but he wonders what Naruto was able to do. He did overhear the conversation between the sensei, but he doesn't know how Naruto was considered a prodigy if he has no chakra and isn't able to perform any jutsu, let alone become a Chunin ninja. Naruto's fight would still be against Kiba, and both fighters begin to jump down into the center of the arena. My guy then turns to Darui. So what makes him a prodigy? Darui begins to laugh while leaning over the railing. I don't think he'll reveal his trump card in this battle, but I can say one thing. Naruto is so good with the blade that he's even able to go head to head with me and the 8-tailed Jinchuriki back at home. He's actually been recognized by the Raikage so much so that he's been adopted as his own. The Raikage holds Naruto to a standard high above any other shinobi that lives in the village. Kiba and Akamaru perform a fang over fang, but with one swift movement. Naruto takes them down, leaving them on the ground bloody. He sheathes his blade and jumps back to where his team was sitting. Everyone was shocked as the fight only lasted seconds and they barely saw Naruto move. The teams would then be given, once the rest of the matches conclude, The teams would then be given a month of training time before the exams are said to continue, and the Cloud team decides to travel back home to train. Darui takes Omui and Karway to train with himself and the Raikage, while Naruto goes off with his uncle, as he takes him away from the village to begin their own training in a location where no one will interrupt them. Killer B then explains with a rap that Naruto's power is sort of like a tailed beast, so he needs to connect with that power in order to use it to its fullest ability. Naruto sits down and enters his demonic form while meditating. When he opens his eyes, he was in the area just like before to see the silhouette of the demon. You said you would explain everything to me once I've gotten stronger, and that the truth would be revealed. Yes, it seems you've grown quite a bit since the last time I've seen you, and you've mastered the small amount of my power that I've lent you. I will only say this once, so make sure you listen closely, Naruto. The demon then explains its origins and Naruto's past, leading up to the moment that he was sealed inside of Naruto. On the outside, Killer B jumps back as Naruto's dark aura shoots up into the sky. He readies himself for a battle just in case, but what emerges from this pillar of darkness was Naruto that was in a different form than the one he sat down in. This demonic form was more developed than the one before, with Naruto's strength feeling overwhelming in this moment. Killer B then noted that his connection to the Eight Tails also seemed weaker when in Naruto's presence. Naruto looks at his hand to see it completely black with red glowing in the cracks. Naruto was surprised. As he gripped his blade in his other hand, he turned towards the mountains and swung the blade, causing a dark energy to fly out from it and slash deep within the mountain. Naruto instantly fell out of this form and slammed his hands to the ground, having tears in his eyes while making a promise to kill the masked man no matter what. The month of training goes by faster than expected, as Naruto was now so much stronger than before. When they returned to the Leaf for the Chunin exams, the first match would be Naruto versus Neji. Naruto jumps down, more serious than ever, and many take note that he now had a second blade on his waist. Neji calls out to Naruto, calling him a failure for having to join another village in order to become stronger, but Naruto ignores him, remaining focused. He keeps his eyes closed and focuses deep on his blade style. Neji gets in a defensive stance, but with just one swing of his blades, Naruto creates strong winds that send Neji into the arena wall. Naruto then points his blade at Neji. Make sure this is enjoyable for me. Neji activates his Byakugan, but it doesn't seem to work. Naruto has no chakra points for him to close, so how is he this strong? Was that just pure physical strength? No, it had to be something more than that. Naruto slowly walks towards Neji, who tries to prepare himself for anything, but Naruto vanishes in a dark smoke, and the last thing that Neji sees is the hand of Naruto before he's slammed into the ground and knocked out in one blow. Naruto then goes to sit back down as he's declared the winner of this fight. The next fight that we get to see is Omui versus Gara. Naruto tells him to take it seriously or he won't be able to win. This opponent is stronger than he thinks. Omui nods and jumps down. The fight begins with Gara throwing out sand as Omui turns his blade to its flat side. That way, the sand could glide right off of it. Then, he rushes in to get closer. More sand comes his way, in the form of a hand, but he flips over it, getting on the side of Gara. Man, what a pain in the ass. Omui grips his blade tighter and continues towards his opponent. The sand suddenly surrounds him and covers him in a sand ball. Everything is silent until the voice of Karway is heard. Omui, if you keep playing around, I'll make sure to kill you before he can. Tamari tells her to shut up, but she then looks at Naruto, who has a serious expression as he would stand up as well. He doesn't even speak. He just releases his bloodlust, and instantly, black lightning breaks through the sand sphere. Jeez, any longer Naruto would have killed me. Anyway, you're Gara from the sand, right? From the fight I watched before, you can't really keep up with high speeds in taijutsu. So let me show you something even faster. Omui looks up towards his sensei, who gives him the approval, as he then stabs his blade into the ground while cracking his neck. Black lightning then begins to surge around his body as he speaks. I wanted to save this for the finals against Naruto, but it seems I won't be able to. Omui enters a black lightning chakra mode. As it covers his entire body, he vanishes from sight, and even the Hokage is amazed at this. A mere genin was able to use a Kage rank technique to this degree. Gara looks around for his opponent but can't find him at all. He's caught off guard, which allows Omui to land a strike against his chest. A flurry of attacks begin to happen from a blur that couldn't be seen. Suddenly, the blade that was stabbed into the ground would vanish as well, as Gara will be slashed across his chest, drawing blood. Before he could react to his own blood, more attacks came his way. As Omui was going all out in this fight, dodging sand without any effort, while also landing deadly strikes. This leads to Gara's partial transformation and the attack on Konoha. Darui gathers his team together and tells them to protect the Leaf Village as best they can. Naruto would understand that this is their chance to help establish a relationship between the Cloud and the Leaf Village. They would go into the forest, where Gara had fully transformed into the one-tailed beast. Omui enters his black lightning form once again, while Karway activates her white lightning cat form, and Naruto transforms as well. This form sported the usual horn and black wing, but now Naruto's arm was covered in darkness and glowed red. His hand was also a claw. Create an opening for me, you two. They nod, and Naruto thanks them. Both of them run up the arms of the tailed beast, dodging sand their way with their insane speeds. Karway then uses her leg to kick through sand behind Omui, who jumps forward, using the black lightning dragon to slice off the arm of the tailed beast, as Karway then shouts out, "Hurry the hell up, Naruto." This is when we see Naruto fly up from the forest, yelling out, "Don't ever rush me again." He swings both his blades, causing dark energy to come off of them and slash Gara across his chest. Once it makes contact, the tail beast crumbles and Gara falls to the ground, bleeding across his chest. Naruto looks at Gara, who is somehow still awake. "Where the hell are you going? Let me kill you already." once you learn to control your own demons, we can fight again. Naruto leaves the area with his team, and eventually the Konoha Crush would conclude with less casualties, but the third Hokage still does perish. The Cloud Shinobi then decide to travel back to their home, and they would leave the leaf for now. As they travel, they encounter two people in robes that would attack them. One of them had red eyes, which set something off within Naruto. Libe's own anger begins to surface on Naruto, with him automatically transforming in Naruto's entire eye, becoming black with his pupil now red and glowing. The horn grew out further as well, and his wing was bigger but seemed more chaotic. A voice within speak that wasn't Naruto's own. He lifts his head up, looking towards Itachi Uchiha, asking a simple question. Where is the masked man? Itachi, hearing these words from the boy's mouth, was shocked to know that Naruto even knew who this was. Itachi ignored the question and tried to perform a jutsu, but he wasn't able to. Even his Sharingan turns itself off. He looks back at Naruto to see his dark chakra leaking from his body. Is he similar to him? I thought he was only the nine-tailed Jinchuriki. I didn't know he possessed this type of ability as well. Itachi jumps back and Kisame rushes at Naruto blindly. He swings Samehada, but Naruto blocks the blade with his bare hand and stabs Kisame with his own blade. When the two make eye contact, Kisame was shaken to his core by Naruto. Before he could do anything else, Itachi kicks him back and Darui tries to jump into the battle, but Naruto attacks him in a mysterious voice then begins to speak. Stay out of my battle. Naruto then pulls out his second blade and the darkness begins to cover the other side of his body as well. Naruto flies towards the two Akatsuki members, but Itachi used a smokescreen to help them escape from the area. As they run, Naruto was flying right behind them. He began to slow down and look down at himself. Damn it, Naruto. This weak body of yours is pissing me off. The darkness from his body would slowly fade away as Naruto falls to the ground passing out. When his team catches up to him, he was fast asleep and his body felt weaker. Days then go by until Naruto wakes up once again. When he opens his eyes, he looks at his right arm to see the tattoo still there. So, it wasn't a dream. Libe really took over in that moment. But why? Naruto contemplates what he should do in this moment and how he should go about becoming stronger. This is when his father and uncle walk into the room. They were happy to see him awake, and Naruto explains what had happened. The Raikage then decides to ask him, how do you plan to get stronger from here? Naruto looks at his swords and begins to speak. From the beginning, I've worked on my technique and combat skills in a way to become useful and to learn how to fight. But all of that means nothing if my body cannot keep up with my mind and abilities. I think that's the reason I can't handle any more of my hidden power. Because of how weak my body is. So, I'm gonna train my physical body before I do anything else. The Raikage smiles. Then you'll look like a real man soon. I'll have someone assist you in your body training. I expect you to complete this training within 2 years. Naruto nods as they would leave the room, and he grabs his blade and speaks to Libe. I'm gonna become stronger so we can take down the masked man together. A time skip will then happen from here, as the next time we see Naruto, he had much more muscle and he was a little taller. His physical strength far exceeded that of a regular shinobi. When we see him, he was actually training within the Leaf Village with Rock Lee and Mike Guy, as each group often visited the other to help in Naruto's training, and this proved to be very beneficial for both villages. Rock Lee was in the second gate, and Naruto was able to keep up with him, going back and forth with punches. They traded heavy blows as each hit knocked them off their balance. Lee throws another punch that Naruto barely dodges, landing a knee to his stomach. Lee then has the wind knocked out of him for a moment, but he doesn't stop. He uses his shoulder to flip Naruto behind him, and then he jumps off into the air, going back down at Naruto, performing a leaf hurricane. Naruto matches this attack by coating his fist with anti-chakra to amplify his strength. When the two fighters clash, shockwaves are sent around the area. With each one of their strong attacks, craters were being left in the ground. This went on for hours, until Naruto's personal advisor, who comes with him, tells him that they need to head back, as his training is complete for the day. Naruto thanks Bushy Brows, and tells him he'll be back to visit soon. Naruto and his advisor depart from the Land of Fire and begin their journey back home. As they travel, they run into a rogue shinobi kidnapping children. Naruto takes them down with ease and asks them who they were working for. They give Naruto the name Orochimaru, which causes him to smirk as he's heard many stories from the Leaf Village on how Sasuke had left. This is when he tells his advisor to go on ahead without him. Sir, I don't think that would be wise for you to take action on your own. Oh, I know. I'm just going to say hey to an old friend, actually. Within the base of Orochimaru, Sasuke was training with Team Taka. This is when they all felt a strange pressure in the area. Sasuke then turns to see Naruto sitting down. So, you actually managed to get a little stronger. That's good. Naruto, how did you get in here? Suigetsu then rushes at Naruto blindly while Sasuke shouts out for him to stop. He swings the executioner's blade, but Naruto catches it with one hand. Well, that solved one of my problems. I'll be taking this. He then punches Suigetsu back and keeps hold of the blade. Team Taka then watches as the blade turns black and red, and they see a horn grow from Naruto's head as well. I just wanted to tell you hi. After all, we're still rivals, aren't we? Naruto swings the blade, splitting the ground below and shaking the entire underground base before vanishing. Sasuke, angered by this, decides to push himself even harder so that one day he can kill Naruto and Itachi. Naruto catches up to his advisor, who questions where he got the new blade. It was a gift from him. His advisor would sigh, knowing he just got into trouble, but this was regular. When they make it back to the Cloud Village, the Raikage was happy to see his son once again. More than that, Naruto's team was happy to see him. All three of them were Jonin ninja at the age of 14. A couple days then go by as the Cloud Village gets word that two Akatsuki members were invading their land. The Two Tails Jinchuriki was in the Land of Lightning, but had already defected from their village, although she did help the Cloud occasionally. The Raikage tells Team Darui, he calls them into his office and assigns them the mission to bring back this Jinchuriki as well, as he knows how important it is for Naruto. The group heads out immediately, and Naruto is more focused than ever. As he speaks, "You ready for this, Libe? This is our chance, so let's make sure we don't let it go." They head out to the home of the Two Tails and finds it destroyed, but they find a trail of blood, and instantly the team heads off even faster. Yugito was surrounded by Hidan and Kakazu. As Hidan's scythe was about to slice her head off, it was blocked by the blade of Naruto. "Who the hell are you?" "The one who's gonna kill you. You can try it, brat." Naruto pushes him back, and the rest of his team guards the two-tailed Jinchuriki, as Darui would speak up. "We're bringing you back to the Cloud Village." As Darui begins to patch up her injuries, he asks his team to defend them. Omui and Karway rush at Kakuzu. Karway enters her white lightning mode and begins to blitz the Akatsuki member, slamming her knee into his face. Her leg would then be grabbed, but Omui uses black lightning to cut her leg free, slicing off the arm of Kakuzu. Hidan will be shocked at Naruto's physical strength, but he believes that's his limit as a shinobi. "Is that all you got? The Cloud really has some muscle-headed weaklings. They can't do any more but get stronger than that." Naruto then cracks his neck, and his sensei says to at least try to leave him alive. Hidan, overhearing this, says that nothing can kill him. "Oh, is that so? That makes this a whole lot easier, as I don't have to hold anything back." Two horns then grow from Naruto's head, as his hair completely goes black, with wings. His arms are completely covered in darkness, but it wasn't an armored plate. No, this was a very incomplete Devil Union mode, but this form that Naruto was now in was sustainable for long periods of time. The power output was also impressive, but pales in comparison to the real thing. Hidan takes a step back while looking at this new version of his opponent. Why the hell does he have that power as well? Naruto then vanishes, and Hidan, well, he's lifted into the air, but he wonders why. He then notices that he was pretty high above ground, as he sees Naruto behind him and gets sliced in his back before crashing back into the ground. He then looks at Naruto as he slowly begins to walk towards him. This kid, he's a monster. "I'm gonna ask you one time, so you better answer. Where's the masked man?" Hidan opens his mouth and swings his blade, believing this will be the perfect opportunity, but his arm was cut off instead. "Wrong move. But I'll give you one more chance to answer the question. You can forget it, kid. There's no way I'm telling you anything." Naruto's eyes, well, he closes them and begins to speak to himself. "Go ahead, Libe. It's your turn now." Naruto's eyes completely go dark with only small amounts of red in his pupils, as the anti-chakra explodes into the sky, making the area and the sky dark. Hidan would try to stab his scythe into him, but Naruto, well, he tanked the hit somehow, and kicked Hidan back while also picking up his blade. The scythe is then covered in darkness as it begins to become one of Naruto's weapons. Hidan tries to attack with only one arm, but he poses no threat. Libe then blocks all the attacks, and he rips out his other arm, and then his head, only for him to still be talking. As Libe would smirk, he throws the head into the sky and summons all of the blade that Naruto has gathered so far, as he cuts his head into multiple pieces, while also destroying his body as well. Yugito was shocked, wondering what the power that Naruto was using was, but Darui begins to explain. Naruto was destined for greatness from the moment that he entered our village. Naruto then turned his head over to the two of them, well, his two teammates who were dancing around Kakuzu. The Akatsuki member wasn't even able to see the two of them because of how fast they were moving. Both of them then rush in for one final blow but jump back. This is when Kakuzu's hearts, all of them, were ripped out by Libe, controlling Naruto's body. As he looks back at him, as Kakuzu's life begins to drain from his body. Perish in the underworld. He stomps on his head and then looks at his hands. This is much more like it, Naruto. I'm actually impressed. The form then fades away as Naruto is able to regain conscious with only a minor headache. He then tilts his head back at Yugito and stares at her with his cold red eyes. Either come back to the cloud, or I'll make you come back by force. She then nods and agrees, as the group heads back, and a meeting is held with the Raikage in his office with many trusted advisors. Naruto then points out how the Akatsuki members seem to not be afraid of his ability, and they also seem to be afraid to tell Naruto where the masked man was. Naruto thinks about it further, as each Akatsuki member he's encountered actually was never truly shocked by his power, as they almost seemed familiar with it. No, that can't be. The Raikage then turns to him, questioning what he means. Naruto begins to think and summons Libe into the room as well. Is it possible that other demons could have entered the world as well? Everyone's eyes then widen, turning to Libe, who sat on Naruto's shoulder, who also seemed to be a little shocked as well. He tells them that it could be possible, but if there were high-ranking devils in the human world, it's true that only one could slip through, but Libe surely would have noticed by now. We then go over to the masked man to see him alone with Nagato and Itachi. Nagato's real body was here, and he seemed to be in his prime, as he wasn't skinny or shriveled up. His body seemed to be in perfect condition, but how? As no history has truly changed. And Itachi, he seemed different as well. All three of them sat upon thrones. Obito's mask then comes off for a moment, and he puts on a different one that now has 2 holes. One of his eyes was of course his Mangekyo Sharingan, but the other, it was a different dojutsu not seen before. The other red eye resembles a clock of some sort. Obito stands up with a dark shadow illuminating from behind him. Everything is going according to plan. Time is slowly counting down until the very end. Itachi, Nagato, make sure you do not falter against the enemy, especially against an enemy far lesser than you. Both of them would nod and leave the room with their instructions. The Raikage is able to send out this information or theory to all the other villages so that they could also prepare for the worst that could come. Another year goes by until the Akatsuki would make another move. They attacked the Sand Village, trying to get the One-Tails Jinchuriki, but this attack was much different. These 2 Akatsuki members used strange abilities that overwhelmed Gara and his guards. Word was then sent out to not only the Leaf Village, but the Cloud as well. When Naruto gets the information about the strange powers that resembled his own, he speeds off with Karway and Omui, as they make it at the same time as Team Guy, as Team Guy also brought Sakura, who is a skilled medical ninja, so that she could heal the injured within the Sand Village. Once Kankuro could speak, he told them about the attack. There were only 2 of them, yet they were so strong. Both wielded a demonic power that amplified their abilities, and we couldn't even compete with them. This then confirmed everything from the meeting to be true. Now, it wasn't just a battle against other humans. No, this was going to be a war against the underworld as well. The 2 teams then speed off, leaving Sakura at the hospital with the injured, and the Cloud team goes on ahead with their insane speeds as they catch up to Sasori, who was on the ground, and Omui tells Naruto to keep going. Are you sure? Yeah, he's the only one who can fight while airborne anyway. Naruto nods and creates his dark wings, flying off towards Deidara. Sasori smirks, having his own dark energy leak from his body. Karway, we have to take him down, no matter what. Our training wasn't for nothing. Don't you think I know that, you idiot? Just make sure you don't fall behind me. Sasori then begins to speak with a more demonic tone in his voice. Well, isn't this a pleasure to meet the twin sparks of the Cloud Village, known for their distinct colors of lightning and their fighting styles. If I was just a mere human, this battle would go in your favor, but I'm much more than that. I'm much more than you. Karway rushes in first, swinging his leg at the head of Sasori, but it's blocked. Before he could do anything, he was forced to dodge the blade of Omui. Where do you think you're going? Sasori then looks forward, not seeing either of them as they had vanished with quick fashion. You damn brats. He's then hit by Karway's fist. Make sure you can keep up with us. Omui then slices him across his chest, but he draws no blood at all. What the hell are you? Oh yes, I'm no longer limited by that human body. A puppet-like body, huh? We've dealt with those before. This shouldn't be any different. If you truly believe that, that will cause your downfall at my hand even quicker. Karway then punches him, but Sasori catches it without even looking. As I stated, this battle will no longer go in your favor. Sasori's red hair then turns black, and he grows horns from his head. Karway and Omui are now on the defensive because of the demonic puppets. Each one of his puppets was stronger than the last. Omui cut through one, but another strikes him in the head, causing his head to start leaking blood in front of his eyes. Karway was then sent flying by another, as the two now stood back to back. You know, we'd really be in trouble if we didn't train with Naruto. We should thank him once this is over. Like hell we will. His ego's already big enough. Omui starts to laugh at what Karway was saying, while black lightning surrounds his body. Karway then enters her white lightning form, and the two begin to take down many demonic puppets. With this enhancement to their strength and speed, it made this battle much easier. Karway jumps onto one puppet, ripping its head off, and dodging the fist of another, while she spins around, landing a huge amount, of a lightning kick that sent shockwaves throughout the area, destroying many puppets that were around her. Meanwhile, Omui was blocking with his blade and began to perform all the techniques from his sword style. Each swing was precise, and it cut through each puppet that was in his way. The black dragon of lightning then consumes all the puppets around him, destroying them as well, as both turn to see Sasori clapping while sitting on a rock. What amazing power. Now, let's see how you two will deal with this. 100 demonic puppet barrage. The puppets then arise from the ground like zombies and undead beings and begin their assault on the team, but Team Guy arrives just in time to help out as well, as Rock Lee and Mike Guy enter the second gate to take down some of the puppets. Neji was there as well, using his taijutsu to its fullest, as Tenten swings down many kunai and explosive bombs that would destroy many of the puppets. This made it easier, but the puppets were stronger than any of them put together. The shinobi then began to get pushed back, even with their powers amplified. Before Mike Guy and Lee could enter a higher gate state, Omui and Karway stepped forward, leaking blood. Let us finish this battle. Sasori thinks this is admirable, but he says that they don't have enough power. You think we didn't train our asses off once we realized there were stronger beings that had entered our world? We achieved powers that far exceeded any human limitations. Let's do this, Karway. Shut the hell up and get serious. Omui and Karway's respective lightning began to erupt into the sky. While flying closer to Datara, he turned around, Naruto that is, wishing their opponent luck for survival as he speeds up faster to catch up before it's too late. The black and white lightning is then condensed down into their bodies as they were both in new forms. Karway's white lightning, her claws were sharper on her hands and boots, as she also had a white lightning tail now. The lightning also ran throughout her body and began to glow, shining. Her eyes were also a pure white as well, as it seemed as if they had no pupils. Omui's new form was astonishing. A black lightning samurai armor appeared around his body as his blade was no longer metal. It was purely lightning that shined out and began to glow brighter the tighter he held it. The two spoke no words as they blitzed all the puppets around them, destroying them before appearing on each side of Sorcery and cutting through him. Damn it. How were they doing this? As Sorcery split up into pieces, he was holding his body together with a black energy. Karway then sends a kick towards him, knocking him off balance as well. As Sorcery was falling down, Karway then used his lightning blade to cut off one of his arms. Sorcery then catches them off guard by moving his severed limbs to attack them, but each limb was blocked by Might Guy and Rock Lee, who were now in the third gate. Omui and Karway knew they had to finish him off in one swift attack. Omui jumps back and condenses all of his lightning into the blade, as it turns into a dark blade that resembles the Darksaber from Star Wars in a way. While Karway began to create an electric dome and surrounded herself in it. Both then jumped forward from each side of Sorcery and strike through his demonic heart, killing him instantly. This battle is over. Karway then turns to Omui, saying that she got the last hit in, but Omui says his blade definitely sliced the heart in half. Each of their forms then began to fade away as they continued to argue. Might Guy would then interrupt them asking about Naruto, and this shifts them right back into gear. That's right, he went on ahead. Let's hurry up so he doesn't have all the fun. The group then rushes off in Naruto's direction, as we go over to Datara to see him still flying to the location with the one-tailed Jinchuriki. But he sensed something was off. A black blur then speeds past him, as now Naruto was seen standing right in front of him. Oh, it's just you, Naruto Uzumaki, the flaw of this world. I've already been warned about your abilities, but they won't work against me anyway. Datara sends out clay bombs towards Naruto, who cuts them down, not knowing what they do, but this caused them to explode right in front of him. The smoke clears and we see Naruto standing there with only minor injuries. I wonder just how long you can keep that up for. Just try and dodge them. More and more clay birds and different creatures fly towards Naruto, who cuts them down, causing them to explode right on his body with direct impact. Through the smoke, a large sword then flies right next to his ear, and it cuts it off, and as it does so, the handle is grabbed by Naruto, who appears behind him, swinging the blade through the clay dragon, cutting down Gara, who begins to fall down. He then caught Gara and left him there on the ground, as Datara would fly down as well. Naruto then tilts his head back. Hey, let's go fight somewhere else. You do not order me around. Naruto appears right in front of him, and he does a kick that sends him flying into the forest that was far away. He lands against a rock and coughs up a little bit of blood. Damn. He was right, this kid is a monster. Datara slowly stands back up while watching Naruto in his demonic form walk towards him. Go ahead. I already know about you having a devil as well, and I can sense it. Datara seems surprised that Naruto knew this and the fact that he could sense it, but Datara couldn't do the same for him. Maybe it was due to the abilities of Naruto's devil that he couldn't sense it, but it didn't matter, as he didn't waste any time turning into a devil, or assuming his transformation. Naruto could feel this immense change, but he really couldn't guess any of his innate abilities. More clay then comes at Naruto, who decides to dodge this time. These explosions were much larger than the ones before, and Naruto ducks down under a kunai as well. Faster than I thought. The next time you won't be so lucky. Naruto kicks him in the chin, sending him flying into the air, but wings then appear on his back as well. This is when a giant clay dragon is sent down at Naruto. As it gets closer, Naruto smirks, slicing through it, and this slice flew off of his blade and cuts Deidara across his chest. How did you? Deidara then realizes that Naruto now stands behind him while also flying in the air. He tilts his head back looking at him. Just because you have a devil as well doesn't make us equal. In fact, you're still far below me. Deidara then flies up higher into the skies, sending down more explosions at Naruto. Naruto equips his two smaller katanas and fully transforms into his imperfected devil union. After another year of training, he actually would have access to a stronger form of his devil union. The horns then appear as Naruto is covered in a more slim-like armor. The mask then covers his face, only leaving his eyes to be seen. He holds both of his blades tight and begins to fly up towards Deidara. The clay birds and dragons begin to descend upon him, but he isn't phased. He cuts through the clay bird on his right and then uses his other blade to cut through the dragon. These explosions don't even faze Naruto, who continues to bleed from his hands and head as he goes up higher towards Deidara. He keeps moving higher and higher, slicing down anything in his way. However, this is when Deidara reveals his true ability. Since they were so high up into the sky, the atmospheric pressure was different, and because they were so far away, Deidara didn't have to worry about getting caught up in his own explosions. As now, he had the home field advantage, and he was able to create explosions from thin air without the use of clay at all. Deidara then begins to yell out, "Try and dodge this, you mongrel!" Deidara waves his hands, causing hundreds of explosions around Naruto, who was forced to dodge as much as he could. Deidara begins to laugh uncontrollably while exclaiming, his art is one that cannot be defied by someone like Naruto. Naruto was being bombarded with large explosions that began to wear him down, but he remained focused, remembering his end goal. If I die here, then who's gonna kill the masked man? Let's show him what we can really do. Demonic blade technique, devouring dance. Deidara looks down and his jaw drops at what he sees. No, that can't be possible. How could someone have a strong technique like this, and to this extent? We look down at Naruto to see hundreds of floating swords around his body, as they all shoot up towards Deidara, who uses his explosions to block some of them. However, these blades could not be destroyed that easily. Naruto swarms Deidara and then surrounds him with his blades, as Deidara twists and turns, seeing that he could not fly anywhere to escape, as the blades covered every inch of everything around them and made the area seem darker. Deidara looks at Naruto, who just waves his hand with a smirk on his face and swings it down. One by one, each of his demonic blades stabs itself into the body of Deidara. He tries to fly away, but his wings are stabbed as well, constricting him. Naruto then rushes at him with the final two blades in his own hands. He slices off the head of Deidara while also cutting through his demonic heart, killing him. The blades in Naruto's hands began to vanish as his form would slowly fade away as well, reaching its limit. Back on the ground, Gara had been found by the Cloud and Leaf Shinobi. They awaited for Naruto's return, as Karway and Omui said that they could sense his power in the sky. This is when the yellow-haired teen began to descend to the ground, injured and bleeding. Naruto gets rid of his wings and slowly begins to walk towards them with a smile on his face. Looks like you guys had better luck than me. Anyways, mission complete. Karway and Omui smile at their teammate, who seemed to be very injured from their battle. Karway would be the one to point this out, but Naruto says they don't look the best either. Hours go by until Gara wakes up to see the Cloud and Leaf Shinobi in the room with him. He sits up fast, asking what happened to the attackers, and Naruto tilts his head back at him. They're dead, so calm down. As a Kage, you need to remember to control your emotions and expressions. Yes, you're right. Thank you. All of you are amazing. I am truly in your debt, and so is the sand. Naruto gets up and his team follows him to the exit of the room. You're not in the debt of the Cloud. I was assigned a mission by my Kage, and I completed it. That's all that matters. Make sure you rest up, Lord Kazekage. This war is just beginning. The Cloud Shinobi then leave the room, and Sakura begins to smile. Rock Lee takes notice to this and asks her why she seemed to be so happy. Sometimes, it's truly hard to believe that that's really the same goofy, irresponsible Naruto. He's grown so much ever since leaving our village. He truly seems to be happy where he is. Gara then closes his eyes, remembering the day that they battled. The memory was blurry as he was in a fit of rage, but the last thing he could remember from that day were the words of Naruto. Those words rang throughout him and changed him forever into the person that he is now. Gara decides to speak, breaking the silence in the room. Naruto seems to be on a path of battle to defeat those in his way. Although, I think he's better than most who would take that path alone and push those who he cares about away. Instead, he chooses to keep those strong allies by his side to help him get rid of the enemies who are distractions from his main goal. I've decided to walk this path alongside him as an ally as well, but first I need to strengthen myself and those around me. Send word to Lady Tsunade for me that I am truly grateful for her help. The Leaf Shinobi nod and exit the room as well, heading home. When we return to the Cloud team who began their journey back to the Cloud, it wouldn't take them long to actually return home and report their mission. Hearing the details about more devils that have entered the world, the Raikage decides to prioritize Naruto. Our shinobi will be able to defeat low-ranking and some mid-ranking devils based on our analysis. But you Naruto, and Libe are the key to this victory and will be instrumental to this war. So, I'd like you to begin your training immediately and progress even further, as we don't know what lies down the road ahead of us. As for you two, that being Karway and Omui, I'll be overseeing your training myself. Naruto, I'm going to have shinobi sent out to all the other villages to help them train their Jinchuriki as well, because they will be needed for this war. Naruto nods and leaves the room heading into the village. He goes around and looks at the statue of the Raikage that lied within the center of the village, and he stares up at his father figure. I will protect my home, no matter what. Naruto continues his training for another week or so, until he senses a strong demonic energy far from the Cloud. But this was strange. Even if this was a strong demon, why would he be able to sense its power here? No, this couldn't be a trap. Naruto then, without hesitation, flies to the location to see a battle between two brothers. What the hell? Wait a minute. It's that guy from before. But does he truly possess a devil? Or could Sasuke? No, that can't be. As Naruto says this, Itachi begins to use the power of his devil. Bones cover his body like an armor, and bone horns sprout from his head. These bones catch Sasuke off guard, but Naruto comes in just in time, blocking the attack with the Dark Executioner's blade. Naruto, what the hell are you doing here? Stay out of my battle. Naruto then reflects the bones into the sky, causing Itachi to jump back. I see. Well, this is perfect time. Naruto Uzumaki, Sasuke Uchiha, join the Akatsuki and remake this terrible world with us. Why the hell would I do something like that? I've come to kill you, Itachi, and avenge our fallen family. Naruto, you stay out of this. He's going to pay for what he did. The two begin to bicker back and forth until they're interrupted by the laughter of Itachi. This is when the rogue shinobi rips off, his top half of his robes, revealing his demonic heart. But it wasn't just this. His body seemed to have the composure of a demon as well. Sasuke, get back. He's more dangerous than I thought. I'll handle this one alone. Shut the hell up, Naruto. I'm going to avenge my clan right now. And in fact, I'm going to take you out with him. Sasuke shoots fire into the sky, forming storm clouds that strike lightning down at a rapid pace. He then jumps on top of a large stone and waves his hand down using his ultimate attack, Kirin. Itachi summons the Susanoo, and Naruto uses his sword to cut through the lightning that struck down at him. Sasuke was shocked, wondering how they gained this power, what it was, and how could he get it for himself to become stronger. Both of them were so far ahead of him, and he hated it. His rage would then manifest itself more and more until Orochimaru would emerge from his curse mark due to him seeking more power. Itachi, seeing this as an opportunity, walked towards Sasuke. You have one choice. Be reborn, or let him take your body. Never, Itachi. I'll be the one to kill you and avenge our clan. I hate for it to come to this, younger brother. But that night, when our clan fell to my hand, that was all planned. That was something that was out of my control. The Hidden Leaf are the ones responsible for our clan not being here today. Sasuke, hearing these words, stopped moving for a moment before calling Itachi a liar. Itachi then uses his Susanoo blade to seal Orochimaru inside of it, and he knocks out Sasuke. It'll soon be explained. He then looks back at Naruto. Don't you want to rid this world of the disgusting nature of humans as well? Horns then grow from Naruto's head as he flies right at Itachi, who swings down the Susanoo blade at him. Naruto was stopped right in his tracks as he was forced to block with not the executioner's blade, but instead he summoned both of his katanas, blocking but barely holding it up. Itachi was quite shocked by this. Impressive, but it won't be enough. Itachi's Susanoo then began to evolve with the help of his demonic powers, giving it more strength. Naruto began to slowly sink into the ground, but he also began to push his body even harder than before. Now, new red marks would appear as he began to glow as well before he entered Devil Union and cut through the Susanoo blade. Naruto looks forward, seeing another person in a Akatsuki robe standing there as well. Not so fast, Naruto Uzumaki. You seem to be mistaken about what's going on here. You're in way over your head as of now. Who the hell are you? In time you shall find out. But that time is not right now, so I'll excuse myself until a later date. All three of them then warp away out of the area, leaving Naruto alone, slamming his hands to the ground. Naruto then returns to the Cloud Village and reports to the Kage. Months go by until everyone feels a strange presence. Devils began to surface alongside many reanimated shinobi who also had devil powers imbued within their bodies. The Cloud Village dispatches their shinobi and Jinchuriki onto the war front. There were 3 fleets of Cloud Shinobi, one led by Killer Bee and Yugito, another led by the Raikage, and the final one led by Naruto. Naruto's fleet heads off and actually meets up with the Sand and Leaf Shinobi first. This is when they head towards the main battlefield. Naruto heads up front, leading the charge and clearing the path with his powers. A bunch of small individual battles then begin to break out, but Naruto kept pressing forward, trying to find the leader of this group. As he flies throughout the forest, he has to dodge attacks from a red-haired individual. Naruto flips to a branch, looking down at his purple eyes. "You'll die today, Naruto Uzumaki." This is when he pulls out his scythe to block a kunai from an orange-haired individual with the same eyes. Paper bombs then begin to fly around them as explosions would happen, and Yahiko jumps away to where Nagato and Konan stood. If that's all the three of you can do, you won't be able to kill him. He's pretty stubborn. The three then turn to see Omui and Karway standing there. Nagato then turns back to see a katana flying right at him, so he catches it with 2 fingers. Naruto then appears right in front of him, and Yahiko uses a metal rod to try and block his blade, but Naruto cuts right through it, and to his shock, he's sent flying. Konan is about to use more paper tags, but before she could, a blade was then held at her throat. She looks along it and down to its hilt to see Omui standing there. "Sorry, but you'll have to get through me first, and I don't think you'll be able to do that." She sticks a paper tag to his blade, but he manages to slice it off, leaving it in her shoulder instead, causing another explosion. While this battle was going on, Naruto was chasing down Yahiko, believing him to be the leader. Naruto sends out Anti-Chakra towards him, only for him to dodge it. He then jumps to a branch, throwing a punch at Naruto that sends him into a tree. "I will admit, you are strong, Naruto, but you've made a grave mistake. You've allowed us to gain too much information on your abilities. Each battle you were in was monitored and orchestrated by us. It's over for you now. As long as I can land physical attacks, I'll have no problem killing you." Yahiko pulls out his own blade and smirks before vanishing with quick speed and appearing behind Naruto, who would turn, swinging his own blade, but strikes through the after image of Yahiko. This is when he's slashed in his shoulder before looking at Yahiko crouching on a tree above him. "What's the matter? You can't keep up with me?" "No, that's not it at all. I just find this all amusing. You've been keeping data on me because your leader is scared of what I can truly do." Naruto then vanishes. Well, his katana does, that is, as a scythe would then reappear. "But I wonder if you've kept up on all my training as well." Naruto then enters Devil Union Reaper mode, as a whole new appearance would happen. A hooded cloak appears around his body with an armor under it. Naruto's face was also covered with a dark energy that formed a red skull mask. Yahiko began trembling while just being near Naruto's new form. This power is much more than anticipated. "It doesn't matter. You still won't be able to get close to me." Almighty push. Yahiko then extends his arms, sending out a wave of force, but Naruto doesn't budge at all. Impossible. How can you just be standing there so casually? Yahiko then stops yelling once he sees Naruto slice the ground, leaving a dark substance in the earth. Arise, shadows of death. Clones of Naruto in his Devil Union mode then begin to rise up from the ground and rush Yahiko. He's caught off guard by this and their speed and has no time to defend from them. One then cuts him across his chest as another would rip off his arm. Yahiko is then stabbed in his chest by multiple clones that pin him to a tree. Naruto then speaks. "Go ahead. I'll wait for you to use your trump card." Yahiko then laughs in his face. "It's pretty funny. You went all out with this ability of yours, and I'm not even the one that possesses the supreme devil." Hearing this, Naruto then vanishes in a dark cloud and sinks into his own shadow, it seems. We then go over to the other battles to see that Konan had also been defeated and laid incapacitated on the ground, and Omui and Karway were losing against Nagato and his strange gravity jutsu. As they were about to be finished off, Naruto arises from their shadows and blocks his blade with his own. This caused the force behind them to be completely destroyed by just the winds from this attack. Nagato looks down at Naruto, who was in his new Devil Union form that he had not seen before. "Seems you've gained even more power than before. But these mere transformations can only get you so far, Naruto." Nagato then jumps back, performing hand signs before slamming his hand to the ground. Gravity zone. A purple zone then appears around the surrounding area, and it forces the group to the ground. Naruto was the only one who could just barely stand in this. As he grips his scythe tighter, he launches himself forward at Nagato, who uses a chakra rod. The two would clash, but it's clear that Nagato seems to be on a level above Naruto due to his strength. Or maybe something was enhancing it. Naruto swings the scythe, but it's countered and he's hit with Nagato's fist. Each time that Naruto was struck, he seemed to move slower and slower afterwards. Naruto swings down his scythe, but Nagato punches him in the stomach, sending him into a large stone, actually knocking him out of his transformation. Naruto then looks forward at Nagato, who is now holding his teammates by their throat. This all ends today, Naruto Uzumaki. The purge of the humans begins with these two. No. Don't. I won't let you. As Naruto was about to stand back up, he was hit back to the ground and forced to watch by Konan and Yahiko, who were perfectly healed. Yahiko then holds Naruto by his hair, forcing him to watch as the life of his teammates begins to slowly end right in front of his eyes. All Naruto can think of in his head, is how terrible this moment is. How angry this makes him. Why? Why was this happening to him? Why did he have to work so hard, harder than anyone else around him? Everything was given to others, but for him, he had to work harder. And all of his hard work was being taken from him, right in front of him. No. It was slowly being taken, and he could stop it. He just needed more power. More. I need more. Libe. Naruto awakens in the red area just as before. This time, Libe's form was similar to that of Naruto's. As he was not facing him, he was turned around. Libe would then question Naruto, asking him if he truly desired a power that would put him on a level higher than the devils in front of him. Naruto nodded, asking for it, no matter the cost, no matter what it cost his body. He'll put it on the line just to make sure that his family is safe. This is when, before anyone knew it, his eyes would go completely red. Nagato now stood still with no arms at all, leaking blood, but in his shock, they would all turn to see that Naruto's teammates were now gone and on the ground, safe. They look around for Naruto but can't find him. Yahiko was amazed because as he looked down to where Naruto was, he was holding him. There was nothing left in his place. Nagato was then sent flying towards Yahiko and Konan by a black blur with wings. Omui and Karway sit up, looking at who they believe is Naruto, but they aren't sure at all. A demonic figure with gray skin, black armor, wings, and a tail with red eyes now stood there, facing down the three Akatsuki members. The being watches as the King of Hell is summoned and Nagato emerges with new arms. That must be your new form. How terrifying you've truly become, Naruto. The spitting image of a devil. Isn't it clear to you that you don't belong with these inferior beings? Just join us and... I'm tired of hearing you speak. Naruto then slammed him to the ground, and both Konan and Yahiko were then cut into pieces before they could even react. Nagato would try to stab Naruto, but he evades, flipping off of him and floating into the air. Nagato stands back up with his injuries slowly beginning to heal. I'll let you in on a little secret, Naruto. Once a devil manifests itself into the world, there's only one way to unlock their true power. Various jutsu must be created by their host in order to use their powers effectively. Meaning, lots of chakra was needed to obtain more skills and power. However, even though you may not have chakra, the same applies to you. Which means since you have not developed these jutsu, this battle is not in your favor even with your newfound power. Nagato then begins to grow horns from his head as black markings appear on his body and face, as well as the wings that grow from his back. Naruto flash steps to avoid an attack, but Nagato sees right through it, clashing with him once again, as now Naruto would be slashing his shoulder. But how? He then sends out chakra rods back at Naruto, who flips over them and summons the executioner's blade. Still speaking no words, Naruto rushes at Nagato, who summons animals with the Rinnegan that attack him. A wolf then bites into his arm, but he swings it, allowing it to knock the others in his way. As he approaches Nagato, the gravity around him increases, and Nagato's own gravity decreases, which increases his speed. This allows him to catch Naruto off guard and land a punch to his face. He throws another, but this time Naruto catches it. Seems you still have some fight left within you. Show me. Show me that true inner strength, Naruto. Show me your true will to fight. Naruto then knees him in the stomach before floating back into the air and then landing a kick on his neck that would send him flying. Nagato gets back up and blocks the next punch, hitting Naruto in his chest. He then ducks under another blow and lands an uppercut, but Naruto, well, he would vanish and rip out one of his eyes and crushes it within his palm before staring back at Nagato. Why, you little... That's it. It's time I show you the difference between our powers. Why, you just have a mere low-ranking devil. I harbor one of the supreme. Nagato begins to perform more hand signs faster than ever, creating another zone around the two of them. Gravity release. Weightless zone. Naruto begins to float without the use of his wings, and is caught off guard by how slow he was moving. As Nagato punches him, making him spit up blood, he's hit over and over again without even being able to counter. With each hit, Nagato became faster and stronger. Even in this unknown transformation, Naruto wasn't able to block any of the attacks. Nagato then stands over him, holding up his hand, causing a ball of energy to appear as he points it down at Naruto. It's time for you to disappear, Naruto. As the attack was about to be launched, the weightless zone is somehow broken from the outside by Karway and Omui in their lightning forms. You two again. Annoying as ever. I should have finished you off when I had the chance. As he looks forward, he sees that Naruto slowly begins to rise again, bleeding, with only his katana in his hand, as he would then pick up the other. Get me an opening, and I'll end this guy in one blow. You got it. Karway then speaks. You better not miss, or we're definitely dead. He smiles as the two then rush on both sides of Nagato, who's actually able to match their speed. Karway then lands a kick to his neck, while Omui slices across his chest. Nagato retaliates with attacks that push both of them back for just a moment, as Omui performs a jutsu that sends out a lightning dragon that heads right for Nagato, who is forced to catch the attack as he sank skidding across the ground while trying to redirect it. As he flies across the forest, he recovers quickly. He then looks above him to see Karway. Lightning hurricane. She spins while her leg creates a hurricane of electricity that surrounds her body and hits Nagato into the ground. A crater is then created around them. But before he could attack again, Omui would slice his body. "You damn insects!" He then pulls them close, but both of them use an attack at the same time, as this was a unison attack that stunned him for just a moment. And in this moment, far away, we see Naruto channeling all his energy into his blades, holding them tight. Anti-chakra begins to leak from them as they were completely covered in it. He swings them down as the anti-chakra comes off, and they fly throughout the forest at great speeds. And they moved until they reached Nagato's body, slashing an X through it and incapacitating him, dropping him to the ground just barely alive. Naruto manages to limp over to his friends as his form slowly vanishes, but a small devil horn would be left in his hair, but he wouldn't be able to notice it right now. He then looks around, smiling. However, before they could celebrate, a hand was then seen through Naruto's chest that stabbed him. He looks forward, seeing a masked man that appeared in front of him. This is when Naruto turns to his teammates. Leave now, and that's an order. Do not argue me." They would then vanish, and Naruto looks down at the masked man, with his vision becoming blurry fast. "Your time has finally run out, Naruto Uzumaki." He then rips out his arm and Naruto falls to the ground with his eyes becoming lifeless and darker. Everything slowly goes black for just a moment, until Naruto sits up in a strange room that he's never been before. He grabs his chest tightly, looking at a scar. "What the hell? Yes. In fact, you did die for just a couple moments before I saved you." Naruto turns to the direction of this unknown voice to see a pale-skinned man with blue hair and eyes. "I've been watching you for quite some time, Naruto, but it seems that power you have isn't at its full potential, and you are not either. What are you talking about, and who are you? The devil within your body is stronger than you are led on to believe. However, before I let you return to the battle happening on your world, you must learn the truth and train to defeat the supreme devils." The truth? What truth? What are you even going on about? And tell me, who are you? All of that will come soon. What I am speaking of is the truth behind the angels and demons of that world. Naruto then looks at this strange creature with confusion at what he was saying. This was something that not even Libe told him. "Make sure you pay attention, Naruto Uzumaki, because you are about to be given a great deal of information. Follow me." Naruto places his feet to the ground, only to then fall to his knees, clutching his chest for some strange reason. What the hell? So, you've realized it now. Your connection to that devil within your body has been damaged. Your body may be healed, but he is still damaged. In your last battle, you two were no longer separated. In fact, you became one being. After that form finished the process, was trying to finish the process of being split back into two, you two were struck and damaged. Here, take my hand. Naruto hesitates for a moment while looking at his hand. How do I heal him? You have to trust me in order for that to happen. Naruto takes his hand being pulled up. I'm only doing this to save the earth and those I care about. Either way, we have the same goal. The man takes Naruto throughout the strange white castle, where he sees more people. This is where the two would reach a room where they see strange orbs floating around. Hey, you can refer to me as Toneri. Alright then. Toneri, where are we? Instead of explaining the history of our complicated race of demons and angels, I'll just show you myself. This room helps to connect our memories and allow us to share experiences. They go into the center of the room and sit down with their eyes closed. Brace yourself, Naruto, as this will be one of the first steps in your training, understanding the truth. As Naruto clears his mind, he opens his eyes in a brand new world, seeing many human-like beings live in harmony. Naruto walks around and begins to explore for himself. This leads him to a room where he sees many powerful figures sitting there having a meeting. As the meeting begins, Naruto goes on to see a younger Toneri sitting as sort of an intern. As Naruto was watching the meeting, someone placed a hand on his shoulder. It was Toneri, of course. This was the day that everything changed, Naruto. Do you see that man that I'm sitting next to? He was my mentor. The woman near him is the one who participated in the development of your planet. Her name is Kaguya. Wait, where is she now? You will soon see, but listen to this discussion that was had. The man who Toneri calls his mentor begins to speak more. As you all know, the demon race has consumed many planets and species. The next target is this planet here. A display of Earth then comes up into the center of the room. However, with that being said, we have intel that the Supreme Devils want to inhabit this planet as their new base of operations, meaning we need to make it there before they do. And as you can most likely assume, this will be another large battle in the long war. We need one of us to go there and scout the planet out first and place the transportation gate for the rest of us to get there as quickly as possible. Kaguya then stands. I will be the one to go. That is fine with me. What about the rest of you? They take a vote and no one objects. Toneri then chuckles. Ah yes, I remember this part very vividly, as I was quite nervous. Naruto then watches as a teen Toneri stands up from his chair and bows his head. Lady Kaguya, allow me to come with you and learn as much as I can. All the other elders within the room would vote and allow him to go. Toneri returns to his master, who would give him a hopeful smile in the afternoon, wishing him luck. A week then goes by, and the two make it to their planet. Well, Earth, that is. First, the god tree is planted, and then the fruit is infused into the planet. Lady Kaguya, why did you not consume it for more power? I infused the planet with the fruit. For the beings that already live here, it will make them stronger, as I have figured out the reason why the demon race wants this planet so desperately. Really? Why? It's because the race that lives on this planet are the perfect host for demons or our own race. Their body components seem to perfectly be made for that reason. Naruto continues to watch as the humans train, but a battle breaks out faster than expected. Many demons arrive before the army of angels, so Kaguya is forced to fight unprepared. Toneri is also in the battle, and they manage to accomplish many things, but one thing was more accomplished than many others. They managed to actually seal the Supreme Devils into a different realm that was connected to Earth, as this will be now known as the Underworld. This halted the war because without their leaders they had no guidance, so the demons retreated momentarily. Years go by, as Kaguya has her own sons and gives them jobs. Hagoromo's job is to help the humans grow stronger and prepare for the return of the demon race. His brother's job was to watch over the Earth from the moon with Toneri and somehow find a way to fix the broken transportation gate. The two bow as they would leave, and they leave with a group of Kage's descendants. On the earth, the son of Hagoromo, Indra, is corrupted by an unknown demon that escaped from the sealed dimension. This led to the corruption of many humans that followed Indra, as this would eventually be known as the Uchiha clan. As Naruto then opens his eyes in the room to see the hand of Toneri right in front of him, he takes it now without a second thought as he decides to ask, "So, you fixed the portal, didn't you?" Yes, we did. And that is why you are here. I'm taking you to the homeworld of the angel race to train. You have exactly 3 days before the war on Earth comes to an end. Due to the strength of the humans, they will be able to hold out for exactly that long. Luckily for you, time in our world moves different. 3 days on Earth will be around a year in our world. That's good. That means I have time. No, do not rely on time. Rely on your own abilities. Now, let us go. They walk to the back of the moon base to see the large gate. It's turned on and they pass through. When Naruto makes it through, his eyes are graced by the complicated building that they are now standing in. As they were about to move, many walked into the room shocked to see the two of them. An older man then looks towards Toneri and begins to walk towards him slowly. Is that truly you, Toneri? Yes. Yes, it is, my master. So, since you've returned alone, she has fallen, hasn't she? Yes, Lady Kaguya is gone, but I have not returned alone. I have brought the one who will end this war. The older man then looks towards Naruto and immediately raises his guard, shaking the entire room from his sheer presence. You've brought an enemy to our home. No, he's a mortal that inhabits a devil, but he is one of us. I would have not brought him here if he was not trusted. Naruto stares back at the man, who analyzes him for moments, but then eyes widen. Bring him to the research room immediately. Naruto is then put on a table as his body is examined. It's impossible. His body has no innate energy at all. How are you even alive? Naruto turns to him. Innate energy? Toneri then explains to Naruto that means chakra, and to his mentor he explains Naruto's, origin, and his devil's abilities. Alright, we will train him, but first we must fix his innate energy problem. After Naruto gets up from the table, he's taken to a completely white room. What am I doing here? I thought we were going to fix the Libe. You must complete your training to stabilize that devil within your body, and to master its power till its fullest potential. Your first task, you must defeat all 15 guards in this room. What are you talking about? This room is empty. This is when Naruto is punched across the room into a wall. Toneri's mentor tells Naruto that he's relying too much on his eyes as of now, as they will betray him in the upcoming battle. As he says this, Naruto is then kicked in his face, and he rolls across the ground getting up. He tries to summon his blades, but they shatter immediately. Great, I can't even use those without Libe. Naruto is then hit in his stomach and face. Toneri and his mentor would then leave the room while discussing more of his training. Toneri, how long do you think it will take him? Well, he is immortal, so at least 3 months before he defeats them. 2 weeks then go by as they would check on Naruto, who is still fighting. He was bleeding from every part of his body, and his clothes were ripped. However, his eyes were covered. An invisible guard throws a punch at Naruto, but he sees it coming and blocks that attack before flipping over the other 2 below him. In seconds, he takes down 4 of them that were surrounding him. The rest then begin to rush in, but somehow Naruto is able to sense all of their attacks and visualize them without even seeing them. Although his body was a little slower than his brain was reacting, he was still able to perfectly counter each of the attacks, taking them down as well. This went on until there was 1 left. Naruto then turns in his direction, sensing him. The whole time, you've been sitting there and not moving. You must be the strongest of all of them. The guard then speaks, no words, standing up and getting in a fighting stance. Naruto slowly moved towards him, and within seconds the guard was now behind him. Naruto ducks under his punch and sweeps his legs, only to be kicked in his neck and sent flying. Tsunari notes his fast progression, but this will be the true test, being able to compete with Kenshiki. Naruto gets up, and he dodges a knee that leaves a crack in the wall. Then, Kenshiki jumps forward at him, only for Naruto to land a direct punch while dodging his fist. This sent him back a couple steps as Kenshiki revealed himself. Although this didn't matter since Naruto was still blindfolded. What is your name? Naruto Uzumaki. And you? I'm Kenshiki. Now that I know your name, I will fight you to my fullest. Naruto prepares himself as Kenshiki's presence completely vanishes and then reappears behind Naruto. Naruto blocks with both of his arms and is still sent flying into the ceiling of the room. He get backs up after landing on the ground, shocking his opponent that he could still move. Why do you persist so much, Naruto? Because I have everyone counting on me right now. I cannot afford to be weak any longer. Another month goes by, and when Tsunari checks up on Naruto, he sees him standing with his foot on Kenshiki's chest. He turns his head back to him. It's about damn time you came back. I beat him a week ago. Tsunari smiles and takes Naruto to the medical facility where his mentor meets with them. As Naruto sits on the table, the man begins to explain. Now that your body is ready, you can intake the fruit of our race. He hands Naruto a chakra fruit, and he holds it. What does it do? It will give you something that you've never had before. Naruto's eyes widen. It will also help restore that demon that resides within your body. Naruto eats it once hearing this, and his body begins to glow as he falls unconscious and wakes up in a dark room. He looks forward to see Libe, but he looks completely different. His horns were now longer, and he was much taller than before, as he actually seemed older than Naruto now. What the hell did you do, brat? It doesn't matter. All that matters is you're back. Are you ready to finish what we started? We have a lot of time to get stronger, so we shouldn't waste any of it. Yeah, just make sure you don't fall behind. Naruto awakens and immediately summons his katanas that appear. Tsunari smiles. Now your true training can begin. For the remainder of your time here, you'll be taught many techniques of the angel race. This will aid you in the battles against the supreme devils. From this point on, there's no turning back. So, are you ready, Naruto Uzumaki? Yeah, let's do it. We skip ahead to Naruto, Tsunari, and an army of angels sitting at the portal. Naruto looks back at his main sensei, Ishiki. Thank you for everything. You can thank me by completing your job. Yeah, and when I do, I'll make sure to come back and kick your ass. As if you're still the student, not the master. Naruto sighs and waves as they head through the portal and return to the moon. Naruto looks down at the earth and smirks. It's about time I go home and kick some ass. On the main battlefield, the numbers of the shinobi were wearing out, and the Akatsuki, revived shinobi, and devils were overwhelming them. Suddenly, a shining light beamed down from the heavens, and out stepped an army of strange people. The Raikage, who was watching closely, saw Naruto leading this group. No, that can't possibly be him. Naruto tilts his head back and summons his katanas that were given to him as a gift from his father. As the Raikage began crying while standing, Naruto looks forward at the Akatsuki, especially the masked man, pointing his blade. You know, this is the end for you. How are you alive, Naruto Uzumaki? It does not matter, as your time has already passed. Naruto begins to do hand signs, shocking everyone watching, as a wall of anti-chakra then arrives from the ground and divides the two sides, so that they have time. He walks back to Karway and Omui, who hug him while crying. Sorry you two had to go through that, but I'm glad you're both alive. Now, let me end this battle. Naruto makes the wall fall down and the battle begins, and with one swipe of his hand, multiple devils are cut in half. From his side, both Uchiha brothers then appear. It's time for you to die right now, Naruto. Sasuke then attempts to attack him, but in a flash, Naruto vanishes and leaves cuts all over his body. Itachi attempts to use his bones against Naruto, but each one of them is blocked by anti-chakra that appears around his body as a defense. Naruto wasn't even looking at Itachi while doing this, and Gara from afar noticed that he was the inspiration behind this ability. I think both of you have noticed that you're beneath me. Naruto raises his hand and swings it down, causing anti-chakra arrows to pin their bodies to the ground, not allowing them to move at all. Naruto then walked back in front of the army with Toneri. Now, let's keep going. The masked man then takes off his mask, revealing himself as well, as he begins to grow horns and 4 wings appear on his back. Come, Naruto. A bunch of enemies appear in his path and Toneri smirks. We will lay out the path for you. You take on the main villain. Toneri's energy explodes as a coat of chakra appears around his body, and he rushes in with the Angel Clan. Naruto stands back for a moment, as this is when his old friends and family notice him waiting. Naruto's energy began to explode, which shocked everyone because what they were seeing wasn't anti-chakra. This was an energy above normal chakra of which humans had. But this chakra was different. Maybe that was due to the chakra fruits that he had consumed. Naruto lifts his hand and creates flame arrows from thin air with no hand signs at all. Hundreds of arrows then rush straight at the demons, piercing their hearts and incinerating them. From his side, Nagato appears with Yahiko, but both of them are blitzed by Naruto. But how could you be so strong? Naruto looks back towards them and raises his palm, erasing them completely. Good riddance. Naruto then looks back to see many of the angels winning their battles, so he takes the fight right to the source. Obito was seen flying with a blast of wind, as he'd fly up to be met face to face with Naruto. So, you trained with the angels to gain more power, but did they inform you of the truth that demons were once angels themselves? Naruto smirks. I'm here to save my world. Nonsense. This is when the sphere is placed around Naruto as he's frozen in time, but in seconds, it's shattered with Obito being shocked. Just, how are you able to do that without that pesky devil? Naruto tilts his head towards him. Who the hell said I don't have Libe with me? Obito looks at Naruto's eyes to see that they were now turning red. This is when lightning bolts attempted to strike him down from the clouds, but they were stopped in their place. Naruto then knees him in the stomach, sending him back. I can promise you that you won't live until the morning. Naruto raises his fist and prepares himself, but then Obito warps away. From above, he appears, but his attack is stopped by Naruto. How did you see me? Man, you really believe that no one can keep up with you? Don't make me laugh. Naruto's hair began to change black as horns began to grow from his head. This is when he entered a perfected devil union mode. Multiple demons see this, flying up towards Naruto, but they aren't even able to get close to him. A full-body Susanoo now stands in front of him as he smirks. Alright then, Libe, let's make sure we take him down here. The Susanoo begins to swing its blades, but Naruto clashes with it perfectly. With each clash, strong winds blow away everyone around them. The large swords come down on Naruto who blocks them and cuts through the Susanoo arm. Time is then rewinded on the arm, making it reform as this catches Naruto off guard and he isn't able to block just in time, so this sends him into a nearby mountain. Naruto gets up, dodging the entire Susanoo that warped to him. And then, he created a wall of stone that blocked his path. After this, Obito cuts through the stone and looks for Naruto, but he's no longer there. This is when Obito feels someone standing against his back. Don't be startled now. Isn't it amazing how close I can get to you without you even noticing? I've already figured out how that ability of yours works. It's in that eye, isn't it? Obito then tries to strike Naruto, but he vanishes in an instant. Suddenly, everything around them became black. As his Susanoo faded, his dojutsu became active, and his body in connection to his devil became weaker. He then looked towards Naruto. What is this place? This is the place where the battle ends. Naruto cuts through Obito, killing him. The dome around them then vanishes, as the rest of the enemies are killed off as well. As they sat there and began to celebrate, Naruto then blocked the fist of someone behind him. He turns to see a devil in its complete form standing right there. Did you truly think you could stop my manifestation? The body of that human was just the gateway out of this seal. This is my real form, and our battle is far from over. Naruto then senses as all the other devils assume their true form and arise from the ground. The second part of the war then begins. Naruto is frozen in time for mere seconds, being hit multiple times before being able to break the seal. He recovers fast, only to have the fist of the Supreme Devil approaching his face. He's fast, but I can go faster. Naruto dodges and swings his blade, only for it to be caught and broken. Naruto backs up and then flies back, only for the devil to appear right behind him and throw a punch. Naruto throws his own, only for it to be stopped in time, as the fist of the devil slams Naruto into the ground, creating a large crater. The Supreme Devil then stands over Naruto, continuing to slam his fist into him, and then flies out of the crater, looking at the army suffer against the true form of the devils. Good. Everything is going according to plan. Hey, where the hell do you think you're going? Astaroth turns to see a fully healed Naruto standing there. How could you possibly... You know, me and Liebe had a pretty eventful time learning from the angels. Not only was I granted a godlike chakra, but even Liebe received a dramatic change. Tell me, Astaroth, what would happen if the host of a devil combined their devil-like powers with an angel-like transformation? Astaroth takes a step back for a second as Naruto's hair begins to turn a shining white. Yeah, that's right, you should be afraid, because that means I'm a being that surpasses both races. Naruto's dark wings begin to shine a white coloring, as his eyes then go from red to golden. Now Naruto stands in a new form, smirking while looking down at the Supreme Devil. Before he knew it, he was being completely blitzed by Naruto. Astaroth swings his fist only for it to be blocked, and then he's hit with an uppercut that sends him into the skies. The Supreme Devil is angered by this, and he begins to charge up attack, and he launches it straight down at the earth. This huge beam of energy slowly approaches, and Naruto watches it, letting it get closer and closer. He begins to channel his own small energy into his hand and holds it up. What the hell? Let's see how strong he really is for a Supreme Devil. The attack that Naruto lets go completely goes through the other and even pierces the heart, the stomach of the Supreme Devil, who slowly begins to regenerate. The dark skies over the battlefield then begin to clear up as the sun shines down. He looks down at Naruto to see him holding up his hand once again. Blades of Judgment, swords made of light, then begin to appear from the sky, striking down at all the enemies on the ground, killing them. Naruto leaves Astaroth there floating in the sky as he creates his own sword of light. I'll make sure you never return." Naruto cuts through him multiple times and then holds his palm to his head, using another blast that completely burns his body into ashes. He then tilts his head back down at the shinobi below, who were cheering for him. He flies down, leaving the form that he was in. As the Cloud Shinobi run up to him first, they hold him tight with tears in their eyes, especially those close to Naruto. Toneri walks over, congratulating Naruto. "I'll be reporting back home. You can visit me anytime whenever you need me, as I'll always be watching, Naruto." "Yeah. Thanks for everything." "No. Thank you." The angel vanishes from Earth and isn't seen for years. As we skip ahead around 4 years to Naruto, taking down bandits with his own Genin squad. It was nighttime and Naruto could see the full moon as he looks towards it with a smile. "Sensei, why are you always looking up at the sky?" "Well, one of my friends lives up there. He was a great friend who helped me save the world. Why don't you go visit him then? Maybe I'll take the 3 of you once you become Chunin."